Today we will discuss about a very important and in fact the most fundamental question that is being raised in all ancient philosophies. They declare that every human being should know the answer for this question. We all know what the question is. The question is, who am I? Vedanta, Greek philosophy, and any ancient philosophy, if you go, they declare that know thyself, which is you must know who you are. Unless you know who you are, you won't be able to overcome your sufferings in your life. Now we have to understand the answer for this question. In a way, the question may look superficial because all of us will immediately say, if you are asked, who are you? We will say who you are. You will say your name. You will say what you are doing. And you will say, beyond this, what is that you want to know? This is what I am. But Vedanta declares, no, that is not the correct answer. That answer is an answer that will lead you into only delusion. That is not the answer. There is a story or actually an incident that happened with the great Ramana Maharshi. Ramana Maharshi is the saint who will only teach all his disciples this question. Go and try to know who you are. Anybody, if they want to know from him the philosophical truths, he will simply say, try and know who you are. One day, one devotee of him, very deep devotee of him, came to him and told, Swamiji, I want to speak to you. He said, yes, tell me. He said, I know your teaching is know who you are. First, know who you are. That I understand your advice, but I have come for a different guidance. Swamiji said, okay. He said, the devotee said, I am a great devotee of Lord Narayana. Swamiji said, great. Then the devotee said that day and night I am always in remembrance of Narayana. Swamiji said, great. The devotee said, after I die, I want to know whether I will go to Vaikunta. Swamiji said, you will definitely go to Vaikunta. Devotee said, will I go to Vaikunta? Swamiji said, of course you will go to Vaikunta. Then he asked rather, will I meet Lord Narayana? Swamiji said, you will meet Lord Narayana. Really, will I meet Lord Narayana? Swami said, of course you will meet Lord Narayana. Devotee asked, will Narayana see me? Swami said, of course he will see you. Devotee asked, really? Swami said, really, he will see you. Then the devotee asked, can I speak to him? Swamiji said, of course you can speak to him. Really? He said, yes, you can. The devotee asked, if I speak to him, will he listen? Swamiji said, of course he will listen. Then the devotee asked, will he speak to me? Swamiji said, of course he will speak to you. Devotee was shocked. He said, Swamiji, will Narayana speak to me? Swamiji said, of course he will speak to you. Why not? Then the devotee asked, what he will tell me? The Swamiji said, try to know yourself first and then come. For that, after spending your time here, go back to earth and know yourself and come back. So this way Swamiji was repeatedly telling, wherever you go, even if you go and meet the God, the Upadesha from God will be only to know yourself. Now, why this serious advice? What is the science behind it? There is a very big science behind it. It is not for no reason that Vedanta, the Vedas, and all its Upanishads have been telling this, that every person should know who he is. Now, our rishis have mastered the art of communicating the deep philosophies through parables. Because the deep philosophies, if it is told in abstract terms, it may not catch the imagination. That is why from Vedas Upanishads came, from Upanishads Bhagavad Gita came, from Bhagavad Gita Puranas came. Only through the Purana and its stories, the deep philosophical truths of the Veda was really broadcast, and it got registered in the minds of all the people. So this question of knowing who you are, the importance of knowing who you are, the Vedanta has described in several parables. Communicating philosophical truth through parables is common to all philosophies, whether it is Christianity or Judaism or Zoroastrianism or Vedic Sanatana Dharma. That is the common and easiest route to register the message. So now I have picked up 5 parables through which the Vedanta communicates the importance of knowing who you are. The first story or the parable is about a donkey. There was a dhobi or washerman. In the olden days, you may know, the current generation may not know, but the older generation will know that in the olden days in villages, the soiled cloths will be taken by the dhobi and he will be washing it in a river or a tank or pond and then bringing it back after cleaning it. The dhobi will have a donkey, so he will collect all the dirty dresses and put it on the back of the donkey and carry it to the washing place, river, and he will clean it there, dry it there, and then bring it back and deliver it there. And while bringing it back also, he will make the donkey to carry it on it back. So donkey is a necessary accessory or a part and parcel of the dhobi. One day, dhobi collected all the cloths and he went to the river. The usual arrangement is the dhobi would have carried one rope with him. So after getting the cloths off from the back of the donkey, he will tie the donkey to the tree and then he will complete the day's work and then come back and put the cloths on the back of the donkey and bring it to the village. But on that fateful day, he forgot to bring the rope. He was deadly scared because if he has to go back, it will be a long time and he may not be able to fulfill his promise to the villagers of completing the washing work that day. And without a rope, if he leaves the donkey, the donkey may run away. Then what he will do? Without a donkey, he can't live. How will he do his professional work? So he was struck and he was really worried and looking here and there. At the time, a wise man was crossing and he saw this dhobi restless. He asked him, "My dear friend, what happened? Why are you like this?" The dhobi said, "What has happened? He has forgotten the rope." The wise man said, "Don't worry. You do one thing. You act as if you are having a rope, which means you go through the process of tying the donkey to the tree without a rope, but as if you are having a rope on hand. But do it in a way that the donkey sees that you are doing it. That means without any rope in hand, you are actually going to tie up by way of acting as if a rope is in your hand. You do it. He said, will the donkey be here? He said, you don't worry, do that and watch. So he actually did as if he is having a rope in his belt. He opened the belt as if, and then tied it around the donkey's neck, and then tied the rope, the non-existent rope, around the tree, and then he went as usual, completed his work, and came back, and he saw the donkey is there. It has not moved anywhere. It is there, bound by the non-existent illusory rope. He was quite happy. Then he said, let's go. He told the donkey, chal, chal. But the donkey was not moving. He was shocked. Normally when he says chal, chal, it will go. So he did not know what happened, whether he has done any mistake of this drama, and therefore the donkey has become insane. So he rushed to that wise man and asked him. The wise man said, don't worry. You tied up this morning, Same way today, now in the evening untie. You go through the same process as if there is a rope. If there is a rope, what you will do? You will untie it from the tree. You will untie it from the neck of the donkey and put a small rope around its neck and carry it in your hand, Same process you do. So he enacted the same drama as he did in the morning. He removed and untied the non-existent rope. And after that he said, chal, chal. The donkey started moving and he completed the task. So here if you see, the donkey was always free that day. It was never tied to the tree. But it was under an illusion that it was tied up. It was not free. We are all like that. We are all tied through a non-existent Maya to the samsara. If only we can understand that it is an illusion that is binding us. The reality is that we are free, swatantra. Then we will always be happy, santosha. The santosha will come once we feel we are full and free. What is preventing us? Because we are bound. We are bound from illusory thoughts, illusory karma, illusory bindings. This is the philosophy or the moral of this story. This must be kept in mind because in all the subsequent 4 parables, the same logic will be applicable. The second is a parable of Emperor Janaka. Emperor Janaka was a Jivan Mukta. He was a very, very wise person. One day, he was sleeping. In the sleep, he got a dream. Like all of us get different dreams. But it was a nightmare for him. In the dream, some enemies invaded his country and his army could not defend him. He was defeated and he was captured alive as a slave and he was carried to the other country. And there he was presented before the king, and the king, after seeing him, told him that he must be punished. But since he has been an emperor and has been a good emperor, let us not kill him, banish him in a forest, and let us take over his country. So accordingly, he was banished in a forest, and his country was taken over, and nobody could come to his help. He was wandering in the forest. No citizen of that country was willing to give him anything because the country is now under the rule of a new king and he will not permit helping King Janaka. So he was wandering, wandering, and wandering. And finally, he came to a chowdhury where people were giving anadana. So he was standing in the queue like a beggar. When his turn came, the person who was distributing the food said, "It is all over now." He begged, "I am very hungry, give me something." So then that person really washed, completely dried that vessel, and whatever was available, put it on a plate and gave it to King Janaka. Janaka got that plate on hand and was trying to take the food and put it in his mouth. Suddenly a kite came and it pulled away the plate and the food fell on the ground. Janaka went hungry, completely hungry. Janaka started crying, "Catch, catch, catch! Food, food, food! Water, water, water!" Then everybody, all his actual doorkeepers and his personal guards came running, hearing the sound of Janaka shouting. And Janaka woke up from the dream. As he woke up, he saw a different ambience around him. It is not a forest, it is not a chowdhury. He is in his bedroom, he is having all his guardians. He was shell shocked. He started blabbering. Was that true? Is this true? Was that true? Is this true? Ye sach hai? Ya wo sach hai? Nobody could know why he is saying like this. So word was sent to the minister and the queen. They all came. They tried to ask him. He said, "Wo sach hai ya ye sach hai? Was that true or is this true?" So the day dawned, the next day dawned. He was still repeating the same sentence. So the minister decided that the only person who can now bring some sanity will be the great Ashtavakra. Ashtavakra is a great sage and who is a great friend of Janaka. He was invited. He came to the court. In fact, until Ashtavakra came for the next 2-3 days, this entire administration came to a standstill because King Janaka was not able to concentrate on anything other than asking repeatedly this question: was that true or is this true? What he was meaning was whether what he saw in the dream as a beggar was true, or is the fact that he is now the king, is it true? Which is the fact? Because he is a jnani, so he wanted to know the answer for this question. Ashtavakra came, and then King Janaka asked the same question: was that true or is this true? Ashtavakra said, "You are now talking about what you saw in the dream and then what you are seeing now. Is that what you are saying?" Janaka said, "Yes. Was that true or is this true?" Ashtavakra said, he saw it through his Divya Drishti, what has happened. Then he said, "Neither that is true nor this is true." King Janaka really now woke up from his stupor. Janaka asked, "What?" He said, "In the dream, you saw you have been defeated, you have been captured, you have been abandoned, and you were begging, and you got a food. That food was taken away, and you were not even having one mouthful of food. You were a beggar. Now you are seeing that you are a king. The question is whether you are a beggar is a fact, true, or you are king is a true. Is that your question?" The answer is neither of them are true. Janaka asked, "What?" He said, as long as you were in the dream was true. Once you have woken up from the dream, that is not true. In the dream, were you a king or you were a beggar? He said he was a beggar. So in the dream, you were not able to be a king. Am I right? Right. So therefore, you are not a king there. So being a king there is not true. Now, if you come, are you a beggar? You are not a beggar. So is a beggar true? No. Therefore, neither the king nor the beggar is true. He said these are all two states of awareness. None of them are true. The truth is there is a third awareness, which is that we are above this. Our true awareness is our consciousness. All of us undergo three stages in our experience. One is the waking state. You are what you are seeing through your eyes and senses. Second is when you start sleeping in your dream state. In the dream state, all your external organs don't function, but the mind takes over all the functions of the external organs and it works. So the mind works as a organ of experience. But you get into the third stage where that is deep sleep. None of the organs, including the mind, works. In that stage, what happens? You don't have any experience. But it is not that you don't have an experience. You have an awareness of not having an experience. Because when you wake up, you remember that you had a deep sleep. You take over from where you left. Therefore, in the first stage of waking stage, you are having experience through the sense organs. And in the dream state, you are having the experience through the mind. And in the deep sleep, it is merged with the consciousness. You are experiencing the consciousness itself. And beyond that, the stage is to understand that in all the three stages, what is experiencing this? What is experiencing this? In the dream state, your hand and leg is not working. They are all taking rest. So in that the organs are taking rest, not working. But the mind is working. So the experience is felt through the mind. But who is feeling that? Similarly, when you go to deep sleep, even the mind is taking rest. But still there is an awareness that you are in deep sleep as you woke up. So who is experiencing that? So all the three states are being experienced by an experiencer. That experiencer is the pure consciousness. That pure consciousness is the only truth. All other things are not truth. Therefore, my dear Janaka, this your dream beggar and your waking king, both are false. You are somebody beyond that, which is your true self. You have to understand that. Only when you know that, you will not hanker after this kingdom, you will not hanker after victory, you will not get worried about beggary, you will not do about anything. You will be only worried about being self-aware and being useful to every being. Because as a conscious being, as a consciousness, you are everywhere. So every being is yourself. So try to know this fact, then this nightmare of living, dreaming will not be there to you. This is the second parable. Here what has happened? Same story. Like the donkey getting tied, Janaka was tied through a imaginary rope in the dream as well as in the waking state, and Ashtavakra has to come and explain to him. That the third story is about Princess of Kashi. There was a kingdom in Padaliputra. The ruling king was a very great respected king of the country. So the student was studying, his prince, 5-year-old prince was studying, and there was a drama. In the drama, somebody has to act as king of princess of Kashi. So the queen decided that his son, the prince, young 5-year-old prince, will act as the princess of Kashi. And he was dressed so beautifully, and he acted as the princess of Kashi. So she was so beautiful, the queen decided that a painting has to be done made of this wonderful makeup. So the court painter was called, and he made a drawing of this princess of Kashi, which is nobody other than the prince of that very country itself. And it was so beautiful, and that painter put the date as a reference because the queen wanted on what day this drama was enacted. So then years rolled. This painting was also consigned to the a chamber, where all old items will be kept. Years rolled. When this king, this princess, he grew up. When he was reaching the age of 20, one day by chance he went into the cellar where this item was abandoned, and he saw that image. He was very enthralled on seeing that image of the princess of Kashi, and below that he saw the date. So from the date you could make out that girl now should be grown up and should be of somewhere near his age. So he instantly fell in love with the princess of Kashi. So he wanted to meet that princess of Kashi, but he would not tell anything because he is very shy. But his attention was so much on that princess, he was not concentrating on anything. His attention was very much diverted from his training, horse training, all the training necessary to become a king. The minister noticed it and asked him, why suddenly your attention has gone, concentration is missing. He told that I want to marry. The minister said, of course, we are very happy. I'll tell the king you want to marry. Okay, I will tell. No, he said, I have already chosen the girl. Oh, see that, fantastic. I will tell him also. Have you seen her? He said, yes. He asked, what is she? He said, she is a princess. Oh, he said, fantastic. You are a king, you are a princess, prince, and if she is a princess, readily he will agree. Okay, I will tell, let's go and tell him. But where did you meet? He said, yeah, I have not met her, but I have seen her photo. Oh, how did you see the photo? Then the prince said that I will take you to the cellar. He took there and showed him the photo, that painting. On seeing that, the minister realized that what a folly it is. He told the prince, my dear prince, you can't marry her. The prince was shocked. Why I cannot marry her? Why I am not fit enough or what? The minister said that no, you can't really marry her. He asked why she is married or what? Why do you say that you know their family or what? No, he said that you really can't marry her because it is nobody other than you. What? Then the minister explained the whole story. After coming to know the moha of the prince, that delusion of the prince went off. Now here we must know the prince did not come to any clearance of mind because that girl was married to somebody or any other problem. But because he really simply realized that that girl is nothing, nobody else other than him. So it is a realization of the true status. We are all in the same category. We are not realizing who we are. Therefore, we think that the truth is something else. All that is required to remove the veil. Once the veil is removed, our unnecessary confusions will go. Then the fourth story parable is the story of the 10th man. There were 10 Vedic students. They were always together and they had to cross a river. So they crossed the river. After crossing the river, they wanted to be sure that all the 10 people are there. So after reaching there, one person said, all of you stand, I will count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. My God, where is the 10? My God, we have lost one person. The next student said, wait. I will count. You go and stand. So the second student counted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, really? The 10th person is missing. They all started crying that out of 10 people, one student has been drowned. There was a walker by. He saw these 10 students crying. He went and asked them, my dear children, why are you crying? They said that we 10 came, but unfortunately, one of us have been drowned. The passerby was surprised because he could see all the 10 there, but these people are telling that one person has died. He could understand that there is some confusion. He said then to one of the person, you please count. That person started, he said all the 10 persons are here. First he made that statement, all the 10 persons are here. So they were happy. But then they said, how? We have counted, it is not 10. He said, all right, you come. One person come here, you count. He counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9, you see, one missing. Then this person, the passerby, turned his hand and told, turn your hand to yourself. You are the 10th guy. You understand? Oh, yes. I have missed myself. But they wanted to recount. But one more student also did the same thing. And he also came to the conclusion 9. That passerby again turned his hand and said, thou art the 10th. Are you clear? So most of the time, we are missing out our internal Lord. That is why we are missing the truth. We are always looking only at the outside. These students, there was nothing wrong in their counting only the 9 outside, because they never realized that the 10th man is in himself. Same is the case with all of us. Same is the case when in the Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti Avastha, we are counting only the 3. We are missing the 4th one, which is our self, Turiya. So, the 10th man parable clearly establishes you have to see your internal self, which is the true Lord. The last one is a very interesting one about a lion cub. One day, a pregnant lioness went on a hunting of flock of sheep. But unfortunately, it tripped and it delivered a cub and died on the spot. On seeing the cub, the sheep took pity on the cub and took it with them. So this cub was growing along with the sheep. So the cub did all that what the sheep were doing, which is it was eating grass, it was bleating like the sheep. It did not know it is a lion in simple fact. It thought that it is a sheep. It was living happily, that is another matter. But it was lion living as a sheep amongst the sheep. One day, time grew, one day another lion came hunting after these sheep, this herd. From a distance, that hunting lion saw amidst that herd of sheep a lion standing. That hunter lion was shocked. Why this lion is quiet there, happy there, peaceful there? So he smelt something very different. Something is happening here. So he very closely came, made all the sheep run out, and then went and talked to that cub, which is a grown up now. Hey, what are you doing here? That cub said, no, 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 please leave me, my lord. Please leave me. Don't kill me. Please leave me. I have not harmed you. Please leave me. That hunter lion was shocked. Why it is behaving like this? He asked, hey, why are you behaving like this? You are a lion. I don't know. I am not. No, don't kill me. Don't kill me. You have come to kill me. No, no, I have not come to kill you. I have come to tell you who you are. The lion was trying its best to explain, but the cub would not accept it, would not believe it, would not understand it. So then the lion thought that, okay, let me take it. It took it to a pond. In the pond, it asked that cub to look at the pond. It said, you are seeing there two figures? He said, yes. One is my figure. Am I right? Cub said, yes. Look at the other figure. It is you. Yeah. Are you finding any difference between you and me? The cub felt, oh my God. Yeah, we both are, us are looking alike. The lion said, my dear cub, you are not a sheep. You are a lion. But you are falsely made to believe, or you are believing that you are a sheep. That is why you are behaving like this. If you understand you are a lion, your life will be totally different. That cub, which was a sheep until that minute, it started roaring. Now, this cub was always a cub, always a lion. It was just that it was under an illusion that it was a sheep. So, similarly, all of us who are all divine in nature, we are all thinking that we are just human flesh, that sheep. But internally, we are all the divine line. But we have to understand it. Now, in this entire 5 parables, you must know one thing. This getting to know who we are actually is enlightenment. Nothing else. Enlightenment is nothing but lightening whereby the darkness of illusion is removed. That is all. That is what is called enlightenment. In this enlightenment process, is there any distance we have traveled that is as if wrongly perceived that we have to go from earth to heaven for achieving liberation? Have we traveled any distance? No. As it travel in time, that is from the minute that you have understood who you are to really be what you are, is there any time gap? It took a fraction of a second for that cub to know it is a cub. The moment it got the intellect, it has become a cub. It is not that you have to wait for 100 years, 50 years until you die, or several births you have to undergo for getting this enlightenment. So, this enlightenment process doesn't take time. You don't have to go to some other world. Or have you to become another object? No. Desha, Kala, व्यवहार वर्तमान कुछ करना है, nothing. All that is required is jnana. You have to gain the wisdom. You have to gain the intellect. The moment you get the real knowledge about the fact who you are enlightened. The moment you are enlightened, you are freed. This is moksha. Moksha is not post death, is not in Swarga or Vaigunda or Kailasa. It is here and now. This is what Vedanta declares. Okay, you can ask a question. Guruji, you are saying that the moment I understand who I am, all these confusions are removed. But you have not still answered who I am. Okay, this is a very, very interesting question. In fact, I also feel that many of the philosophies, while they are telling you should know who you are, have not told you who you are. Let me explain that. I am going to tell that to you in easily understandable terms. Maybe in those days they felt that it is easily comprehensible, but truly I also agree it is not that easily comprehensible. I will tell you by one example and then I will tell you. We have seen bulbs, we have seen fans, refrigerators, washing machines, televisions, iron boxes, so many things. All of them are running on electricity. Am I right? Now these bulbs, fans, refrigerators, etc. are forms. But all of them are really animated by what? What is running them? By which power it is operating? Without which these cannot operate. We know that is electricity. So what is the source energy of all these equipments? Is electricity. Now all these items, electric equipments, are names and forms like you and me. But what is running us is electricity. That electricity is what the elders called as Atma. This Atma has two sides to that coin. One side is consciousness, being aware. The second side is being energetic, power. Shiva and Shakti. They together animate every being. Without that, we won't be here. We are here because we are able to be active. We are able to breathe. All our cells are active. The moment they cease to be active, we are not here. Similarly, we are here because we are aware. If we are not aware, then we will be in coma. So this consciousness and energy, the combination of that is called Atma. This Atma is in a individualized soul, Jiva. In Jiva it is called Atma. The same energy and consciousness, when it is on the universal scale, it is called Brahman or Parabrahman. So, what is spread out throughout the universe and what is within us is one and the same. In an individual, it is localized. In the universe, it is universal. Just like, look at a pot, a closed pot. Inside the pot also there is a space, outside the pot also there is a space. Both are space. But inside it is encompassed. Outside it is open. If you break a pot, that space inside will just merge with the space outside. Similarly, the individual consciousness and energy, that combo what we have, the universal energy and consciousness outside are both are same. but in us it is localized, which is making us to operate. So when the Vedas say you have to know who you are, it is telling that you should know you are not the body. Why? Because the body is changing. We are not what we were in our childhood. We are not our mind, because mind is every minute, every second changing. Sanchala. We are not our breath, because it is always changing. We are not our wisdom, because it is also not the same. We are not also our happiness, because it is also changing. The body, the prana, the mind, the knowledge, and the happiness, all these things are activated by something else. What is that? That is this Atma. Atma is what? Is the combo of consciousness and energy, Shiva and Shakti. So the Veda declare that you try to know that you are not this Panchakoshas. These Panchakoshas may perish, but what is animating that? That consciousness and energy combo, that is what we call as Atma, that doesn't perish. And unless you know that is the real you, because you are that, you are not the body, you are that soul, Atma, consciousness, Chitta. Okay, that is why Vedas declare that try to know you. The moment you know that you are really your soul, your Atma, then most of the worries will be gone. Why? You will realize that everybody around me are the same. So why should I quarrel with anybody? They are all my friends. Will the hand of you will quarrel with the leg of you? Because hand and leg will know that it is a part of the same body, same person. So the moment we realize that we are one in universal energy pattern as the same, we will not quarrel. We will start loving everything. The moment that happens, then there is no question of kama, krodha, lobha, moha, madamashcharya. Then your life will be only happy. I told in the as a part of this lecture that a person's happiness comes from feeling purnatvam and feeling sudantratvam. That is, once a person starts feeling that he is complete and he is free, he is not fettered, then he will be always happy. So our happiness will always flow like anything. The moment we understand who we are, the moment we understand we are not this body, we are not this mind, etc., etc., but we are actually the animating consciousness, animated consciousness, the combo of energy and consciousness, which is the Atma. This is what the Veda has been telling, Vedanta has been telling, all religions have been telling. Know yourself. Let us understand this. But this requires not only just listening to this discussion, this requires constant contemplation on it, meditation on it, repeated understanding of it. And then it has to sit in our mind that we are Atma. Atma is divine because it is giving the energy, giving the consciousness to me. It is the same that is spread out throughout the universe. Therefore, I can enhance my capacity. So, you have to constantly meditate on this. And after that, you should make it a habit to practice it. Once you start practicing it, you will find a love flowing out of you, compassion flowing out of you towards all the creatures in the world. And you will see nothing but happiness, nothing but bliss all around. No tension, no fear, no suffering that can haunt you. That is why they say, Vedas declare, know yourself. So let us know ourselves that we are the divine soul, and let us meditate on this and start practicing it, and then start living this. Om Namah Shivaya.